Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back inside the build barn. My name is Matt. This is Zoe, and that's August. As sleepy as usual. And I know that we've been lacking uploads since the last time you saw us, but we took a little trip down to Europe, got some R&R, rest and relaxation. We are back and we are diving right into the 240Z project. Now in the last video, we were able to get this 327 out of the car and it went surprisingly pretty well. Okay, don't let it go, don't let it go. Okay, you're good.
I'm good?
You're good, yeah. Now this is the new 350 that we're going to be putting in along with the old transmission that's currently on the 327, and we have all of these pieces for the front end and rear end kit by Apex Engineered that we are going to put on before we put the engine in the car and we rehook everything in the rear. Now, one of the big pieces from this Apex Engineered kit is the front subframe, steering rack, and everything in both wheel wells. I kind of test fitted everything to see if it would fit. I think it's gonna fit, even though that this front subframe you see here is actually made for an LS series engine and not the 350 that we have. You can see these brackets that Apex Engineered sent specifically for the LS engines. There's a third bolt down here that doesn't exactly fit. So we're gonna mock up everything. We might have to drill another hole in here or here to get everything to slide and to fit exactly where the engine was before, but it should fit. It's gonna be very close. This does come with a ton of hardware, but it's pretty clearly marked. So here you have rear suspension kit, front, lower control arms, motor mounts, cross member, all that stuff. So fingers crossed that we can get through this quickly because all of the parts for this thing have arrived. We're gonna start off by taking this brake caliper from the back here. You can see there's two bolts and the rest doesn't seem that complicated. It's not too rusted. We're gonna have to take off everything, including the shocks, and then we'll be able to get the subframe and steering rack completely out of the car. I thought that was gonna drop directly. There seems to be, I think it's the tension bar here we have to take off first. Alrighty, we got both sides done now. Funny how the side that I didn't film probably took me 5 minutes and the side that I filmed took me over an hour. I'm doing this all for you guys, you know. So we're gonna lower the car, we're gonna disassemble the steering shaft output to the steering rack, and then we should be ready to drop this whole subframe on the ground. Yeah, baby. And just like that, the entire front subframe is off the car. Now that went relatively well. Probably only took me, if I wasn't filming for you guys again, would have probably only taken me an hour. Unreal. Very happy. Now, this is the replacement for this. And there's also these two arms that go in the front. I believe these spindles. We're gonna put the steering rack And yeah, there's not much left under the car. This bar right here, I'm not sure if it stays with the kit, so we're gonna leave it there for now. We do have some of these new bushings that came with the kit that make me think that it should stay there. We're gonna take these off, and I think that's gonna be it. We're gonna start putting in the new kit.
A few moments later.
And there we have it. Step number 1. I have noticed that there's a little bit of play in here that I don't like. I don't have a washer thin enough to fit in there, but I'm wondering when I clamp it down to torque spec if it's gonna clamp down and fix that. If not, we're gonna throw in a little washer because I don't want that moving left to right. Our first hurdle has officially been dealt with. I put some washers in here. There was missing about a ½ inch to get it snug on the frame. It's very solid. I don't see it going anywhere. I didn't want to put any washers on this side here because there's not a lot of thread going into that bolt. So I think that worked out very well and we shouldn't have any problems with that. I was able to get the steering rack all fitted in. The only problem is with this here that goes to the steering column, I wasn't able to get the wheel inside to get to the 0 position when the steering rack was in the 0 position. So I think we're gonna have to pop the wheel off. It's just one nut and readjust it when we get the car on the ground. I think it's gonna be a lot easier. We are flying through this. We've made some big progress here. Let me show you. So we have pretty much everything inside the wheel well. We got the front spindles on, the steering knuckle, tie rod. We were even able to put the old sway bar back in its original place. So everything's looking good. Everything is still very loose. Just want to make sure that we can fit everything in before we tighten it up. And I think we're going to go ahead and throw the suspension back in. And just like that, everything is back together. The shock, the suspension here slid right in. I did make sure there was the same thread pitch and same size before ordering them. Everything seems to be fitting very well. Everything's aligned. Obviously, everything is still loose because I didn't tighten anything or torque anything to spec. But so far, so good for the front. Brakes are back on, wheel hub's back on. Everything is fitting pretty good. Now let's try and tackle the rear, which is going to be pretty spectacular, I think. Now this is what the rear looks like. I've already undone all the brake hoses, and the reason I say that this could be pretty spectacular is because I believe this whole rear assembly, differential, frame, and everything is all gonna come out in one piece. There's some big bolts holding the frame, the differential, and everything to the chassis, but I believe that if I take those out and put my little lift that I had in the front under that rear diff, I should be able to just drop everything in one piece, and I won't have to go through the headache of disassembling like I did the front.
One eternity later.
Yeah, baby. And there she is, all in one piece. That was a lot easier than I thought, a lot easier than I hoped. Now let's hope that putting in the new rear subframe and diff will go as smoothly. Now this is the new rear subframe, and it's actually going to require me to notch out a good piece of this here, and I'm going to have to modify this spare tire pan because it's going to sit all the way over there. So I think we're gonna have to cut that entire thing out, and we're gonna have to take the diffuser off and the fuel tank. So I'm gonna do that, unfortunately, and I'll be right back. So here we have the Nismo 370Z differential on the rear subframe. Everything winds up spectacularly. The only thing is this side here, I'm going to have to notch out. I don't think you can see the markings I put there. So from here to here, about that deep, we're gonna cut that out so that this notch can fit because it's rubbing right now. You can see here I just finished notching out the frame. Hopefully it's enough. I'm not gonna show you guys exactly how I did it because it is exactly how you should not do it. Let's just say it involved this blanket, the fuel cell behind it, a grinder, and a lot of sparks.
2,000 years later.
And there we have it, the mock assembly that will say everything fits pretty well. This will be fully adjustable for the camber once we adjust these two bolts down here. Everything looks fairly straight. Obviously huge weight saving from the stock stuff. It looks pretty good. The only thing that we need from the old chassis rear end is this 4-lug wheel hub that we will need to use with the 370Z and 300ZX axle combination that we're going to be running. The only thing is, to get it off, I have to get this bolt off, and if you can see on the side up here, it's actually crimped onto the bolt. So I'm gonna have to take a grinder, a Dremel or something, get that off to be able to slide that little 4-lug hub off, and we'll be able to use it on the new stuff. Unfortunately, I was hoping to have all of this front and rear stuff buttoned up in this video, but it's taking a lot longer than I thought. And I think it's gonna end up spilling over into the next video where we hopefully put the engine back in the car. If you've made it this far, guys, thank you so much. If you could like, share, subscribe, it would mean the world to me. Like I said, it's been maybe 3 weeks since my last upload. I took a little vacation. I was tired, got lots of rest, relaxation. We're coming back at you hard with a bunch of car content, so please stay tuned. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one.